to the point that you cannot even focus. You're so tired, exhausted that you don't have time for yourself to even think. Many times we know this stuff, we have this information somewhere in the back of our head. We learn it when we were kids, adults, and we forget. Everybody, just Henry here, and welcome to the channel. Today we're on day 107 of my $1 million challenge. Folks, I don't pretend to know it all, and that's one of the reasons why I created this channel, because I wanted to accomplish a number of things besides simply having a journal of my experience on the $1 million challenge. I also wanted to create a community, build a solid group of people that are like-minded, that can share information. A lot of the information that I share in my videos, sometimes it's common sense. Many times I even know the information. I'm just moving out of the way because I was pumping gas and don't want to be in the middle of people. So I'm just gonna park here so I can shoot this video quickly before I leave. But again, my point is that many times we know this stuff, we have this information somewhere in the back of our head. We learn it when we were kids, adults, and we forget. So it's always nice to have sort of like a refresher. And today's a very good example, because I had meetings with several people. Some I already knew, some were clients, some were friends, and it was a really interesting vibe that I was perceiving, even though they were all very different people, different genders, nationalities. It was almost the same vibe, and the vibe that I perceived, and I confirmed because I asked them, the vibe was they were tired. They were tired, exhausted. Different ages, different people, but they were all tired, exhausted. One is a super intelligent woman, very talented, very good-hearted, and was tired of an emotional battle that she's having with a business partner. I had to remind her of the very basics. One of the most important elements that we need to remind ourselves is that you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to respect yourself before you respect anybody. Actually, only God comes first. But if you don't respect yourself and you're not happy with yourself, then you cannot love yourself. And if you cannot love yourself, you're not going to love anybody. And I don't want to make this video about love, because I'm not the love doctor here, or I don't specialize in that. But it's just common sense to me. And sometimes we need like a kick in the butt from someone else to sort of remind us that. And I think she needed that. And I hope that she doesn't just agree with me, but I hope that she can reflect on this and not let someone else be manipulative, gaslight her, and exploit her beautiful heart. The next person, I saw the same thing, similar situation, only with clients, and I had to remind this gentleman that I'm like, you're the owner of your company. You are the CEO. You are a vendor of many different companies. Some of these companies are very big companies, but still, you are the CEO of your corporation. Demand to be treated the same way that you're treating them. And I had to have a talk with him, and in our meeting, even though it was supposed to be for something completely else, where we're discussing company growth and P&L and other things, we ended up talking about him. You got to value your time. You have to outsource certain things that are taking more time from you and your family. And the vibe was the same. I'm like, he's exhausted. And he told me, he's like, Henry, I'm just exhausted. By the time I get home, I don't want to do this and that and that. And it's only snowballing, becoming a bigger problem. And some can become a legal problem that can turn into something very expensive. In this case, procrastination is not going to help you. Procrastination, whether it's caused by a simple physical deficiency that you're just tired, or mental exhaustion, or you're just not, your lack of motivation, laziness, it doesn't matter. When it comes to procrastination, can be very, very costly. It can go down the legal pathway and can become a nightmare. It won't go away. These are things that you got to tackle. And if you feel that you're tired, then you gotta restructure your life. And I'm sorry, there's no other way around. You have to, if you intend to do those things, you need to restructure your life. You need to restructure your schedule. You need to go to bed earlier, cut down all the activities, and you got to get up early, because you know that when you come back from working all day, you're not going to have the energy. And one of these things is invoicing. I'm like, well, first of all, why don't you have someone in charge of running your invoicing? And our company here can help you. Some of them are small businesses and they want to do everything themselves. They feel that it's taking away from your profits, but it's not. You can get a good payroll service for $100, a good bookkeeping service for $100. And if you have difficulties finding good bookkeeping and good payroll, call me or text me or message me, because I can help. Right now, saving all this money, right, is costing you, or it's costing him in particular, his life, because he could be relaxed right now. It's tax season. Now he could be relaxing with everything already done. Instead, now he's struggling, going through paperwork. He thought that his significant other had everything organized, and that's another mistake. I'm not going to say that it's impossible. There are exceptions to the rule, but it's very rare to find a solid husband and wife team working in a company. It's just the nature of the game. It'll affect other areas of the relationship, and it'll affect many areas in business. So you think that you're saving $3,600, $5,000 a year. Outsourcing is the best because it's a lot cheaper, and you, in that company, you have a contract, there's accountability, and at the same time, if your accountant is the one providing the service, then it's an easy, smooth transition to provide all the information, all the information that is necessary for the tax planning and preparation. This individual now is exhausted. He doesn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I had to sit down and remind him that he's a CEO. And you need to have your mindset reprogrammed to understand and think like a CEO, so that you can then do your company justice and expand and understand what is it that you need to do to improve your company, to make it more efficient. That's where your mind should be as a CEO. You have to organize yourself, and it all starts with your mind. You have to organize your mind, your heart, your spirit, your mindset, so you can be in the right track. Fast forward to the next meeting. I'm telling you, I had at least 6 meetings like this today, and I'm like, what is going on? There's like a common denominator here. It all goes back to mindset. The importance of having the right mindset, the importance of understanding yourself, your needs, your purpose. And I've been talking about having purpose since the beginning of my channel. You need to have purpose. This is the third gentleman. The third case. I asked, I'm like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? And I know it's a very cliche question, but it's important. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? He told me he didn't even know where he saw himself in 2 years, because he doesn't even have time to think about that. That's how exhausted he is. I'm like, so basically you're driving this car with no direction. No, where do you get your ambition to even get up in the morning? You know? And this is reality, folks. Most people are very talented. They know a lot about their industry, but unfortunately, they need time management, a lot of time management education, because they end up wasting a lot of time in things that are insignificant. Even though they're business related, doesn't mean that they're significant. There's an enormous need for people to understand who they are. And I think that you need to understand who you are and what your wants and your needs are in order to move forward. It's 8 o'clock and I wonder what star that is. Do you know? I'm going west right now. Yeah, I don't have my glasses, so I cannot even read the app. I'm using this app, and it says that it's either Regal or Orion. I'm more inclined to think that it's Orion, but it's pretty big. I honestly thought that it was an airplane at first. And there's light. There's a star. Yeah, I'm using the Sky Guide app. It's such a cool app, and it has a lot to do with the graphics and also the music. But I love that app. I honestly could spend even more time than I want to using it. Have you guys used Sky app? And if you have, what do you think of this app? I just finished with my last client of the day. It's past midnight, and another case of what I was talking about earlier, that we need to have purpose and we need to have a sense of direction. And I think that the lesson to be learned today is that many business owners, entrepreneurs, but mainly small business owners, they're so caught up with their day-to-day that they lose a sense of purpose. And it's not their fault, it's just life. Like my last client right now, very smart. I have so much respect for her. In her case, same thing. You know, I ask, what's your purpose? What's your plan for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? And similar answers. She's so busy with her day-to-days that the last thing that she can think of is about herself, about her goals, about the direction that she wants to take her business. And she loves her business, and that's why she's so dedicated to it. It's difficult when your time is consumed completely by your business to the point that you cannot even focus. You're so tired, exhausted, that you don't have time for yourself to even think. Our operation costs over the last 12 months have increased by 75%. But yet when I ask and I look over the numbers, I'm like, okay, how much do we increase your prices? She only increased her prices an average of 13%. And I'm like, do you see the problem here? And at this rate, you could be bankrupt. But she's afraid of losing customers. And it's a difficult time. It's very challenging. You know, more than ever, entrepreneurs and small businesses, they need to figure out ways of making their business more efficient. I think it's only going to get more challenging for small businesses, period. So again, I hope that this video is helpful. I might develop this further into more aspects of small business owners and entrepreneurs. If you are an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, please, comment below, share your experiences. I think that we need to work together. We need to help small businesses more than ever today, because big corporations are going to end up winning. And it will be a shame, because I believe small businesses are the foundation of this country. Please comment below, subscribe to my channel, and until the next one. Thanks.